Lately, I've been feeling pretty lazy. My motivation is at an all-time low. My brain won't shut up. I'm so full of ideas, but I fail to execute on them. The guilt settles in, the feeling of not having accomplished anything interesting today and yesterday and the day before that. So I've been doing a lot of thinking and decided to narrow down a few key elements to change in my life that I know have a huge impact on my productivity. And while working more and hustling every day definitely isn't for everyone, I do get an immense pleasure in moving forward with projects and crushing goals. This is definitely a video about my own struggles and one that I am making for myself as a reminder, but hopefully some people can relate to this and take in some sort of inspiration. So as I mentioned, I've been having a lot of trouble getting shit done as of late, and I've been trying to figure out what's been holding me back, and also trying to think of ways to make things better. I watch quite a bit of content about self-betterment and productivity, so over the years I've been taking some notes and trying to take things into consideration, but I've never fully committed. Most of the things that I'm going to be talking about revolve around getting rid of distractions, as well as having some sort of routine set up and adding some sort of consistency in my life. First off, let's get rid of the most obvious: distractions. I am always on my phone. Now, I've been getting better and better because this is actually something I've been working on for a little while, but it's only getting better because I've changed a few things about my habits when it comes to my cell phone usage. I took off all notifications off my cell phone except for text messages and phone calls, and I've also tried to limit myself to only checking my social media twice a day. Not checking your social media as frequently actually becomes a lot easier once you don't have the notifications coming in, blowing up your phone every single time you get a like or a comment on virtually anything on a social media platform these days. The most tempting times to check my phone and social media has always been when I've been posting any sort of content. I was trying to see if the recent post that I put up is doing well or not, but I found this to be a lot more satisfying if I actually only checked it the next day or a few hours later. There is something to say about not just seeing one new like on your photo versus waiting an entire day and having the totality of that number come up all at once. Also, when I do end up checking my socials, I try to do it at a time where I actually have the time to take it all in and actually respond to comments and things that have come in throughout the day. I've also decided to delete all the games on my phone, especially the ones that are clearly time wasters and have no actual depth. So see, I love video games, so to me it's completely crazy. I guilt myself from playing any home console games on the fact that I think I should be doing something more productive, yet will be able to lay in bed a half hour in the morning and a half hour at night and every other moment when I'm not actually doing something to check into a game to farm and reset timers in a game that doesn't require any real skill and isn't actually satisfying for me to play. Most of these games kind of make you have to go back periodically throughout the day to get the most out of these games, and there's no real satisfaction in actually achieving these goals. By deleting these games off my phone, now I'm able to spend more time either doing something else or actually taking the time to play these really cool games that I actually get some satisfaction out of on my home consoles. My last main distraction I would have to say is YouTube. Ironically, I'm really big into YouTube, and although I don't watch much Netflix or television at all, I don't really watch too many movies either, I can watch a crap ton of YouTube every single day. It's so easy for me to get lost in just one more video and then I'll go to bed, and then 3 hours go by and I'm not sleeping still. And although a lot of what I watch on YouTube is educational, I'd have to say that when I'm procrastinating and watching YouTube instead, it's definitely just entertainment. I just kind of watch whatever video I can watch, even if it's not something that's necessarily super interesting to me, and it just passes the time. There's just so much content to watch on YouTube. Honestly, if no one put out a single video for the rest of eternity, we'd still never get around to watching every single video on YouTube, so I love it. Alright, so let's say that I've dealt with the distractions in my life. So I only check my socials once a day, I'm never checking my phone, I'm limiting the amount of time on YouTube. Cool, but that doesn't really get me actually doing things per se. It's not actually getting me motivated, which is another big issue that I've been having lately. I can scroll Tumblr all I want and trying to find motivational quotes. I can rewatch Arnold's motivational speech for the 10th time today.
And I was working on construction.
Okay, no, I didn't actually do that. But these two next things that I'm going to be talking about, I've had in my life at one point or another, and both have consistently given me more results in terms of productivity and just my well-being in general. Every single time I've had one of these two things going for me in my life, I've always been so much more productive, and I'm really going to be trying to get these things back on track in the following months. We're talking eating healthier and exercising. Now, it sounds really boring, I know, but hear me out, alright? I won't talk too much about eating healthier because, for one, I'm definitely no expert, and for two, it's pretty self-explanatory. But we all know this. Eating better just makes you feel more focused and more energized and just feeling good in general. We tend to overlook this a lot in our society, from being too lazy to saying we don't have the time to never actually learning how to cook. I'm guilty of most of these things, but I do think this is a pretty essential step in living a better life. This doesn't even mean cooking at home necessarily. Even if you do eat out, there are healthier ways of eating than eating McDonald's 5 days a week. I'm not speaking by experience.
You're a f***ing liar!
And lastly, exercising. In my case, it's running, but it can be a whole bunch of different things. For me, I feel extremely fortunate to actually love running, so this does make this step a little easier for me. And I talk about this to so many people in my life, but honestly, running for me in the morning solves so many issues in my life, it's not even funny. I impose myself a no cell phone until I'm back from my run rule, so that way I have to get up right out of bed, go take my run, take a shower, and then I can check my things. And just to put things in perspective, when I don't have running in my life, I can easily stay in bed for way longer than it took me to actually go take my run, shower, get back home and eat breakfast. And at this point, my day's already started. I'm feeling energized, I actually feel hungry for breakfast, which never happens if I don't run. And I actually had the time to kind of figure out exactly what I wanted to do throughout the day while I was running and taking my shower. When I don't do this, I'm still in bed by that same amount of time, feeling groggy as hell, not ready to do anything at all. Maybe I snoozed a couple more times. I'm just going nowhere. And I know this is a personal problem, but I do feel that I'm not the only person in this kind of boat. I swear, running in the morning for me changes everything. So what I talked about in this video is kind of just a framework of where I'd want to be in a few months and just a few things that I'd like to change in my life to make things better for myself. A lot of these habits or ideas are things that I've either been thinking about for a while or are habits that I've had in the past but have fell out of. It'd be the worst idea and guaranteed failure if I tried to do all of these new habits all at once. So I'm definitely going to be taking the time to integrate these over time, one at a time, and hopefully I'll be able to look back on this in a few months and see that most of these habits, if not all of them, have now been integrated into my life. Now, this is by all means not for everybody. Again, as I said right off the bat, this is definitely a video that I'm making for myself. I do feel like other people might resonate with this, some people that have the same kind of struggles that I do and might have the same kind of goals that I do, and for other people, it might seem super robotic and strict and takes the fun out of life, but this is kind of where I'm at right now. These are the things that I've been thinking about, and if this can help me be more productive in the future and get to working on some of my dream projects instead of working my regular job that I have right now, then why not, right? These are the kind of things that I've been thinking about and things that I think would make me a lot happier, and if it's not for you, then do your thing. If you did watch this far, I'm assuming it did resonate with you on a certain level. So I'm curious, I want to know. Let me know in the comments below if there's something you'd want to change yourself, or a challenge you'd have for yourself, or a habit you want to change. And while you're at it, try to think of one way to help achieve that goal. At the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is willpower, especially in the beginning. You kind of have to kick yourself in the butt to do it. But when it does become part of your routine and something that you just do naturally, it more often than not becomes something that you wish you had started earlier in your life. New Year's is coming up and a lot of people are going to be looking forward and trying to think of things to change and New Year's resolutions and all that stuff. But remember, it doesn't have to be January 1st for you to try and make yourself a better person or try to achieve new goals. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this is kind of different than what we normally do, but if you did enjoy it, smash that like button, subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed already, and as always, we'll see you in the next one. Peace!
Good.